think I know what the answer is, but whatever. All right, I'm gonna pass it, sir. You're not to leave the courtroom.
Your Honor, I got my job.
Sir? Sir?
How you doing, man? Thank you,
Switch heads.
man.
Second.
Have you seen Miss Cannon?
She's there now.
I believe in it, but a handcuff to a chair might work.
Your Honor, we'd be requesting an adjournment. I don't know if there's a green form in the.
There is not.
Okay, I apologize.
I don't have the attorney or a green.
I'm standing in for Ms. Cannon, Your Honor. We'll just be requesting an adjournment. We had not been able to make contact with Mr. Davis, so since he's here, I'll get proper contact information.
Any objection from the people?
None, Your Honor.
What?
Oh. Sorry.
Now I was just gonna hand.
I'm coming for everybody today, Your Honor.
Welcome to the office.
I'm sorry.
You have no objections to adjournment. Just kind of a warning to defendant to make sure he stays in the victim, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Also for now.
Thank you.
Probable cause conference, March 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates, bond will continue.
Thank you.
Thank you. Court calls the case of the people versus Jeremy Davis.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Chinazi Carey, I can rule, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Jeremy Davis. Mr. Davis, state your name for the record.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we respectfully request that this matter be set for preliminary exam.
All discovery is continued.
Yes, to our knowledge.
People have their witnesses available on the 18th.
Your Honor, could we go one additional week, please?
Any objection to that?
No, that's fine, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination in person will be set March 25th, is it? March 25th, 2025, 9 a.m. before Judge Moore. Judge Moore.
Thank you, Judge. You got my number.
Bond will continue. Court calls the case of the people versus Dennis Dukes.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Asli Bashir here with Dennis Dukes.
Your name? Dennis Dukes. Thank you.
We would like to request the earliest possible exam date. To our knowledge, discovery is complete.
Would the people have their witnesses available the 18th?
Your Honor, the people would request to go 1 week beyond that. The defendant is out of custody and several exams were set on the 18th already this morning.
I know, but I have great faith in the attorneys around here that he can do it.
Thank you, Your Honor. We'll do the 18th.
He will go with the 18th. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination in person, March 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. That's before Judge Barr. Bond will continue. Thank you. Court calls the case of the people versus Mohammed Farha.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Victoria Burton Harris, Chief Assistant Prosecutor, appearing on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Qasim Mr. Mohammed Farha, who is present to my right. Can you state your full name for the record, please, Mr. Farha?
Mohammed Hassan Farha.
Your Honor, today we're going to be asking for an adjournment. My client is scheduled for an intake at the Sacred Heart for rehab on Monday, March 10th. So we would just be asking for about a month adjournment so that we can show some progress. Negotiations are ongoing between me and the prosecutor.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Probable cause conference, April 10th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case people versus Jermaine Fletcher.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Victoria Burton Harris, Chief Assistant Prosecutor, appearing on behalf of the people.
And Your Honor, Alexis Plumai, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Mr. Fletcher, who is on Zoom. Mr. Fletcher, could you just unmute and state your name?
You got your camera. You need to unmute, Mr. Fletcher.
Mr. Fletcher, there should be
Yes,
like
I'm here. I'm here now. Yeah.
Perfect.
Jermaine Fletcher.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I am requesting a 2-week adjournment. I do have that sheet here. If I could approach
Yes.
and hand it to you.
No, that's okay. No. You relax. Thank you for bringing this to me.
I did say, can I approach?
No, I know. No, you can approach. Not sure you should have to, but that's okay. March 20th, 2025,
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. No, we were good. We worked it out. First cause the case. People versus Demond Harris.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Raymond Cook for the people.
Brian Bowling on behalf of Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris, are you present? Your Honor, I spoke to Mr. Harris yesterday. I expected him to be here today. I'd ask you to consider adjourning this probable cause conference to a subsequent date so that I can get Mr. Harris here.
Bench warrant on 10,000 cash surety. That warrant will issue immediately.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you. Court calls the case People versus Brian Hart.
Victoria Barton Harris, Chief Assistant Prosecutor, appearing on behalf of the people.
And Laura Yagi, Assistant Public Defender, with on behalf of Mr. Hart, who's approaching council table.
Brian Hart. Thank you.
Your Honor, based on the circumstances, the prosecutor's office is opting to not proceed, and the people are moving to dismiss this matter.
We would join in that motion. Of course, no objection.
Case is dismissed.
Thank
very
you.
much, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Or I can just.
I appreciate
Good luck to
it.
you.
Court calls the case People versus Christopher Holt.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Raymond Cook for the people.
Cedric, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Christopher Holt, who's approaching. Mr. Holt, state your name for the record, please. Yes, do you have a green form, Your Honor?
Did you fill one out?
I do have an extra one just in case
Did you
if it-
fill one out?
I had someone do it for me.
Okay, I have it then.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're requesting an adjournment, Your Honor. We're currently in negotiations with the people. We need a restitution amount.
How much time are you looking at trying to get done?
2 weeks is fine, Judge.
March 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates, bond continues.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Court calls the case People versus Candace Huddleston.
Asif Bashir on behalf of Candace Huddleston, who appears via Zoom.
Huddleston, can you state your name, please?
Candace Huddleston.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we request a brief adjournment for further negotiations. There's just some documentation I need to provide to the prosecutor. So 2 weeks should be enough.
Probable cause conference, March 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continues.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I don't have. She didn't give me green. I know, she has it. She left because she thought she might have to approach. You know? Court calls the case of the People versus Fidel James.
Your Honor, Alexis Plumai on behalf of Mr. James. Mr. James, could you unmute and state your name?
You're muted, Mr. James.
Yes, Clydell James. Can y'all hear me?
Thank you.
And Your Honor, we are requesting to set this for preliminary examination. Discovery is complete to my knowledge.
People have their witnesses available on the 18th.
We'll do our best, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination in person will be set March 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. before Judge Moore.
Thank you.
Sound will continue.
Thank you.
Thank you. Court calls the case of the People versus Craig Jones.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Your Honor, Alexis Plumai on behalf of Mr. Jones, who is approaching. And Mr. Jones, could you state your name for the record?
Craig Jones.
Alice Cowboys.
Your Honor, we are requesting a brief adjournment to the 20th, just so I can continue to try to work out a potential global resolution on Mr. Jones' files.
Without objection, probable cause will be adjourned March 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. Continue. Thank you. Court calls the case People versus Lamar Jones.
Your Honor.
Brian Bowling on behalf of Mr. Jones. Or Jones. Your Honor, plea offer has been made, which I discussed a little bit with Mr. Jones today. He would like some time to consider it.
Sure.
This is in case we would keep it open for us. So there's a couple weeks, it should be sufficient.
Probable cause conference, March 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates, bond will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Court calls case People versus Lamine Kaba. Lamine Kaba.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Defender, it's on behalf of Lamine Kaba. Lamine? I was in contact with him just before yesterday. He is supposed to be here. Can we just briefly pass? Maybe I can contact him, see if he's in the hallway outside.
I do that rarely. So that'd be it now. bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond 10,000, cash surety. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls the case, People versus Amal Kasham.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, Raymond Cook for the people.
Asi Bashir here on behalf of Amal Kasham, appears via Zoom.
Hello,
Hello, state your name.
Ms. Amal Kasham.
Thank you.
And we request a brief adjournment just to provide some documentation as part of negotiations with the prosecutor.
Oh, it's part of it. Gotcha. All right, probable cause conference. Will the 20th be enough time to get that?
Yeah.
March 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Kasham.
Thank you. Bye.
Court calls the case, People versus Zachary Copella, Frendagakis.
Frendakis, Your Honor.
All right. Don't laugh at me. There's like a bunch of
No,
letters.
no, it's okay. A lot of people butcher it, so I'm okay with it.
Wow.
Assistant,
No, you just called me out. Your client just called. Never mind.
and Assistant Public Defender Chinazi Carey, I can rule, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Copella. Mr. Copella, could you state
with
your?
that last name?
After
you know, with
I
your last
learned.
name, you didn't even bother with that last name. You didn't say anything about it. You just left off half of it. That's fine. Go ahead.
I just go by Zach Frendakis.
Rendagus.
Frendakis.
Oh, I still did it wrong.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
He still talked about it. Go ahead. What are we doing?
Judge, you're requesting an adjournment in this matter. There's just some more media that we need to review with Zach.
Will the 20th work for you?
That should be fine, Judge.
March 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. Or as your invite indicates, bond continued.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You. Court calls the case, People versus Eric Coons.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, Raymond Cook for the people.
Stephanie Cannon, on behalf of the school.
Your Honor, I've not had any contact with my client. I did poll the gallery. Nobody responded. I do not believe he is present.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond 10,000, cash surety. That warrant will issue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case, People versus Natasha Lawson.
Ashley Laundry for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Chinazi Carey, I can rule on behalf of Ms. Natasha Lawson approaching. Ms. Lawson, when you get here, could you state your name for the record, please?
Natasha Lawson.
Natasha. Judge, we're requesting an adjournment in this matter as well. We're still in negotiations with the people.
March 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued. Thank you, ma'am.
No. Paperwork? Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Court calls the case, People versus Alante Lindsay.
Ashley Laundry for the people.
Lindsay.
Your Honor, Alexis Plumai, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Lindsay. And Mr. Lindsay, could you just say your full name when you get up here?
Alante Lindsay.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting a preliminary exam. And discovery is complete to my knowledge.
People have their witnesses available the 18th.
We'll try, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination in person, March 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. That is before Judge Barr.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your bond will continue. Thank you. Court does call the case of the People versus Donald McKenzie.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, Raymond Cook for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Jay Bellinger on behalf of Mr. McKenzie, who approaches. Mr. McKenzie, can you please state your name for the record?
Donald McKenzie.
Thank you. Your Honor, we're here on PCC today. It's my understanding that my client will be pleading to an added count two of a failure to return rental property under 750-362A4A. It's a 1-year misdemeanor and $2,000. And my understanding is that the felony will be dismissed.
Do I have a plea form?
That I don't know. Oh,
I can start filling one out.
okay.
I'll pass it.
Thank you.
Court calls the case, People versus Taisha Morgan.
Ashley Laundry for the people.
Asi Bashir, on behalf of Taisha Morgan, who appears on Zoom.
Morgan, can you state your name, please?
Taisha Morgan.
Thank you.
I request a brief adjournment to counsel Ms. Morgan on a potential path to a resolution in this case. This should be the final adjournment in this matter, I believe.
Probable cause conference, March 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Court does call the cases of the People versus Nicole Nelson.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, Raymond Cook for the people.
Your Honor, Assistant Public Defender Alexis Plumai on behalf of Mr. Nelson. Mr. Nelson, could you say your name?
Nicole Nelson.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I believe the court is in receipt of the plea forms on these two cases. Mr. Nelson will be pleading to an added count 2 of attempt resisting and obstructing on the case ending in 0946. And count 1 will be dismissed. And on the case ending in 1352, he will be pleading to the misdemeanor of controlled substance use. And count 1 will be dismissed.
Right, that being a 1-year misdemeanor.
Yes.
That's the court's full understanding of the agreement. Is that correct from the people?
Yes.
Sir, could you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. State your name again for the record, please.
Nicole Nelson.
All right, Mr. Nelson, it's this court's understanding that you were going to be pleading guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
All right. The first charge is contained in file 0946 or ending in 0946 is the charge of attempted resisting and obstructing a police officer. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration and $1,000 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes.
The other charge in the other case ending in 1352 is the charge of use of a controlled substance. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year, $1,000 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Understanding all of that, do you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
To the charge of attempted resisting and obstructing a police officer, how do you plead?
Guilty.
To the charge of use of a controlled substance, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And you understand that by pleading guilty, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand all of that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation?
No, Your Honor.
Are you on parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead to these charges?
No, Your Honor.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you in any way?
No, Your Honor.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes.
And also because you believe that you're guilty of these offenses?
Yes.
Starting the case ending in 0946, on the date of April 28, 2024, at the location of 4970 Washington Avenue in Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, did you come into contact with officers from the Pittsfield Department of Public Safety?
Yes.
What happened that makes you think that you're guilty of this offense?
So what happened that he put me in the car, and all I really remember at the time was that I wanted to say something.
Okay, you're breaking up badly, sir.
Okay, can you hear me?
Okay, so you came into contact with the officers. Were they trying to arrest you?
Yes.
And during the course of their process in arresting you, what did you do that makes you think that you're guilty of this offense?
I put my foot in the door.
All right, so just so that I'm clear, put your foot in the door so that it wouldn't close, and that's the door to the patrol car?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in that
Yeah.
way you attempted to obstruct their arresting you, is that correct?
He already had me arrested, but yes. Yeah.
Oh, he had you in cuffs, but he was trying to transport you. And you put the foot in the
Right.
door. You put your foot in the door to make it more difficult or to resist or obstruct your arrest. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Going to case 1352. On the date of July 8, 2024, at the location of Washington Avenue near Gulfside in Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, did you have cocaine in your possession?
To be honest, Your Honor, I do not remember. I do not remember. I cannot recall, or I can't say I did or I did not.
Your Honor, was not aware that Mr. Nelson did not remember that. Perhaps we could pass the matter and I can call him and discuss a no contest plea and print a police report for you. I apologize, Your Honor.
All right, so here's what I'll do. On the other case, have I complied with the court rule? It would be proper to accept a suspended split.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court on case 0946, court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Pre-sentence investigation and report is ordered. Sentencing in that matter will be April 9th, 2025, 9 a.m. That's before me. Bond in that matter will continue. All right, I'll pass the other matter. You can go call him, talk to him, see what he wants to do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, you'll have to remain online, but we'll recall your other case back up after you talk with your attorney. Court calls the case, People versus Matthew Olet.
Andrew Children on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender Qasim Balesi on behalf of Mr. Matthew Olet, who is present to my right. Can you state your full name for the record, please, Mr. Olet?
Matthew Olet.
Your Honor, at this time, we're going to be requesting an adjournment for discovery and to continue negotiations.
Probable cause conference, March 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Court calls the case of the People versus Antoine Patterson.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Assistant Public Defender Jay Bellinger on behalf of Mr. Patterson, who approaches, Your Honor. Mr. Patterson, can you please state your name for the record?
Antoine Patterson Senior.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your Honor, it's my understanding that the court just signed a protective order on this case yesterday. We're not quite in receipt of the CAC video, although it's my understanding that it was sent yesterday. We were just requesting 2-week adjournment so that we have time to review that.
That's so accurate, Your Honor. The discovery was sent over yesterday. They should receive it shortly, hopefully. No objection to the adjournment for that purpose.
March 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates, bond will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, we're all set. We'll be in touch. Next.
Court does call the case People versus Sunita Payne.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Jay Bellinger on behalf of Ms. Payne, who approaches. Payne, can you please state your name for the record?
Hello, I'm Sunita Payne.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Your Honor, we, after speaking with Ms. Londi in this matter, we are hopeful for a resolution, but at this time, we are asking the court to set this for preliminary examination. All
That's
discovery,
correct,
to my
Your Honor.
knowledge, is complete.
And I don't think there's going to be any objection to the 25th or a little bit later. We're just hoping to kind of come together in court and figure out where we're going.
Thank you.
And all discovery is complete.
To the best of our knowledge, Your Honor.
All right. So preliminary examination in person will be set March 25th, 2025. Without objection, 9 a.m. That is before me.
Okay.
Bond will continue.
Thank you.
Thank you. Court calls the case of the People versus Aaron Piccini.
Good afternoon, Victoria Burton Harris, Chief Assistant Prosecutor appearing on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender Chelsea Vergils with and on behalf of Aaron Piccini. Mr. Piccini, please state your name.
Aaron Piccini.
Your Honor, we're asking for an adjournment in this case. We do have a resolution. However, it requires him to be accepted into 14B Recovery Court. I have a form signed with permission of Ms. Burton Harris. I would ask the court to sign that.
All right. How long they're taking to do that, but let's do it this way. I've signed that and signed the referring form. I will set probable cause conference March 27th, 2025, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates. All right. Bond will continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Can I get a copy of that form? Or, I'm sorry.
Sorry about what?
Will it be sent to the recovery court or can I get a copy so I can send it?
She has some nice things, doesn't she? I mean, she's really nice about how she has. Very respectful. Unlike some. Yes. Can you take care of that, please?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls the case of the People versus Thurman Poole.
Victoria Burton Harris, Chief Assistant Prosecutor appearing on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender Chelsea Vergils with and on behalf of Thurman Poole. Mr. Poole, please state your name.
Thurman Poole.
Your Honor, I'm requesting an adjournment in this case as well. We have received discovery now, and I would ask for time to meet with him and let my client review that discovery as well.
Probable cause conference during March 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls the case People versus Alan Reed.
Brian Bowling on behalf of Mr. Reed. Alan Reed. Your Honor, Mr. Reed prepared to waive his right to the preliminary examination.
Is that correct, Mr. Reed?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that a preliminary examination is a proceeding where the people would have to show by probable cause that the offense alleged was committed and that you committed it.
Yes.
You understand you'll not have that hearing. You'll proceed to circuit court for further resolution.
Yes.
People also waive the right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination having been waived, defendants bound over to circuit court on a single count.
Well, acknowledge receive the information, waive its formal reading and stand mute. Your Honor.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter not guilty plea. Pretrial will be set for April 28, 2025, 1:30, Judge Hamud.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bond will continue. Clerk calls the case of the People versus Martez Richard.
And is that on behalf of the people, Your Honor?
And Laura Yagi, Assistant Public Defender with and on behalf of Mr. Richard, who's approaching counsel's table. Can you state your name for the court? And sorry.
Martez Richard.
And you're, sorry, Your Honor, there are two matters here. We do have discovery in one, but unfortunately, I believe there's outstanding discovery in the second. So we would be asking for a brief adjournment to obtain that discovery, continued discussions.
And that's correct, Your Honor. I did request that discovery in that case yesterday, and if we could be heard on bond as well.
All right. But you're requesting discovery on both cases or an adjournment on both cases?
I am.
Probable cause conference will be adjourned March 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. as to bond.
Your Honor, we were informed this morning by the victim that the defendant, when he was in custody, check this, he did try to call her number 6 times from jail when he was in custody. And since release, he's been trying to contact her by call, text, and Facebook. She has not answered, and she did file a police report with, was it YPD? With YPD, and so that could be future charges coming because of that.
Response?
Yes, Your Honor. So first of all, this is the first I'm hearing of this. I don't know whether the calls were made before or after the arraignment. Obviously, I think that's really crucial to know if the calls were made before he was told not to have contact with her or not. This is someone he's had a relationship with for 14 years. He has 4 children, this person, they've had kind of an off and on relationship for the past few months, but my understanding is she saw on Facebook that he was dating another woman and got very angry recently. Obviously, I would ask the court to continue his bond, obviously continue the no contact order until, and potentially even set this for bond violation on the 20th, but until we have further information about what that bond violation is, until we have the police report or until we have information that the jail calls were made after his arraignment. My understanding is he was given a PR and released pretty quickly after. So again, I don't know, but it's very possible those calls were made before he was actually told by the court not to have contact with her. And we haven't been presented any evidence whatsoever of the actual communication or attempted communication. So until that time, I would ask that the court continue his bond.
Also, I got my job. I'm supposed to be at work.
Okay. And the other thing is Mr. Richard is a manager still at Burger King, right? And he just got a new apartment. He had been working on getting this apartment through his caseworker for like 8 months, and he just moved into that new apartment. And I know he was extremely concerned about losing that apartment if he loses his job, which would of course be at risk if he was to be incarcerated.
And I've been homeless for 7 months.
Check the dates on the attempted calls from the jail.
All right. Well, here's what I'll do. I'll pass it momentarily, let them check the dates, compare them to the arraignments, make a good point in regard to that. But there are also other calls.
Yes, the victim informed us that he's been trying to text, call, and connect with her on Facebook multiple times. So she did file a police report on those.
On those things. Do we have a copy of that report?
Not yet. I believe she filed it yesterday, so we haven't received it yet.
Can somebody try to call over to YPD and see if that report's right? Just make the call.
I
Please.
Man,
I think I know what the answer is, but whatever. All right, I'm gonna pass it, sir. You're not to leave the court.
Your Honor, I got my job.
Sir?
Because we don't even know what's going on. Graham knows too much.
Can you please restate the letters?
Donald McKenzie.
All right. Court has now the plea of form agreement that indicates that he will be pleading guilty to the charge of failure to return rental property valued at 200 to 1,000. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration, $2,000 fine plus court costs, and I think 3 times the value of the property. Upon his successful guilty plea to that charge, count 1 would be dismissed. That's the court's full understanding of the.
That is our understanding as well, Your Honor.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. May I have? Sign in. Yes, he did. May I have him sworn?
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
State your name.
Donald McKenzie.
All right. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead guilty to a charge of failure to return rental property valued at 200 to 1,000.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration and $2,000 fine plus court costs. The fine could be increased at 3 times the value of the property. If that's greater than $2,000, that becomes the maximum fine. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
It's Mike. Understanding all of that, you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, sir.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, sir.
You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
Yes.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No, sir.
Look at paragraph 5 on that form. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right?
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, sir.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
And because you believe that you're indeed guilty of this offense?
Yes.
On the date of June 26, 2023, at the location of 455 Washington Avenue in Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, what'd you do on that date involving a vehicle from Enterprise Rent-A-Car that makes you think that you're guilty?
Well, I rented the car myself, and I didn't. I wasn't able to return it in time.
Okay, you rented the car. For how long were you supposed to rent the car?
Honestly, Your Honor, it's hard for me to really recall.
May I, Your Honor?
Please.
So you rented a vehicle from Enterprise, and you had a contract on that rental. And at the time of that the contract expired, you failed to return the vehicle.
Yeah.
And the police had to recover that vehicle.
Yeah.
And that vehicle was worth anywhere between $200 and $1,000 for purposes of this plea.
It was worth in excess of $200. The vehicle.
Yes.
Okay. It wasn't a Toyota. All right. No, I'm kidding. Wow. It's not bad. All right. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of guilty to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Pre-sentence investigation and report is ordered at 14A1 probation. Sentencing in this matter will be April 9th, 2025, 9 a.m. That is before me. Bond will continue. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
On the left, as you walk down the hallway, my probation department, you can stop in there and start the process.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I'll be in touch. Call me if you have any questions, okay? All right.
You may.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hussein. You're in front of the Honorable Judge Cedric Simpson out of the 14th District Court, Washington. Can you please turn on your camera, unmute,
Yes.
and raise your right hand for the court?
Yeah, may I have the 4-digit access code, please?
You may. 1423.
142.
3.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will listen accurately, completely, and impartially?
Okay.
That's the only judgment.
Yes.
From English to Arabic, from Arabic into English, in the manner now before the courts, I'll help you back.
I do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Court does, and good afternoon, Mr. Interpreter. I'm sorry for not greeting you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Thank you. Okay.
Court does call the case of the people of the state of Michigan versus Afif Alawar.
المحكمة تنادي على قضية الشعب لميشيغان مقابل عفيف علاوة.
Good morning, Mary Tanhall for the people.
Asli Bashir here. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Mr. Interpreter.
Sorry, I couldn't hear that. Again, please.
Marie Tanha for the people.
فري تنها حاضرة عن الشعب.
Asli Bashir here with Afif Alawar.
آسف بشير هي حاضرة عن المتهم بشير العور عفيف العور.
Mr. Alawar, can you say your name?
سيد العور ممكن تقول اسمك؟
عفيف العوار.
We seek to adjourn this matter for 3 weeks, if that is okay with the people. We have been informed of some potential new discovery in this matter.
نبحث عن 3 أسابيع إرجاء من قبل ممثلين الشعب بعد مناقشة هذا الأمر.
No objection, Your Honor. We were made aware of potential other incidents.
لا اعتراض شرف القاضي لكن خلينا بالنا على الحوادث الأخرى.
And if I may add something, Your Honor. We will also, based on the information received, would like to issue a warning to defendant to make sure that he is not exposing himself to anyone in the neighborhood.
وأيضا يكون واضح بالنسبة للمتهم أنه لا يكشف نفسه لأي أحد في الحي.
Do you understand that, sir?
أنت فاهم هذا الشيء سيدي؟
Mr. Alawar says that he does not understand.
سيد العور يقول أنه لا يفهم.
Mr. Alawar, did you understand the interpreter?
هل فهمت المترجم؟
Your Honor, if I may approach. Sorry.
It's happened on all tennis cases today. You may have. Just one moment, Mr. Interpreter.
Yes, no problem.
Okay. All right. Mr. Interpreter, could you ask the defendant whether or not he is understanding your interpretation?
أنت فاهم ترجمتي ولا لا؟ أنت بتفهم ترجمتي ولا لا؟
لما عم تحكي هلق بالعربي أنا سامعك.
Now when you speak in Arabic, I understand.
Sir, the prosecution wants to make sure and is issuing a warning to you to make sure you do not expose yourself to anyone in the neighborhood area or anyone else.
سيدي الادعاء العام بيطلب منك انه ما تكشف نفسك قدام اي حدا في الحي او في اي مكان.
Okay.
Do you understand that, sir?
انت فاهم هذا الشيء سيدي؟
Yes, I understand.
I will adjourn the probable cause conference to March 27th, 2025 at 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates.
سيقوم بإرجاء المرافعة إلى يوم 27 آذار 2025 أو حسب طلب الادعاء.
Bond with its conditions will continue.
مع أنه الشروط إطلاق السراح أن تستمر.
Thank you.
شكرا لك.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Interpreter. Great
You're
job.
welcome,
Appreciate
Your
it.
It's my pleasure.
All
Always. Anything else you can help
Take
with?
care. No, sir. Thank you.
My pleasure. Always. Thank you for calling Language Line Solutions and have a good day.
You're the same.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, that's it for that block.
মজা হয়েছে অসাধারণ হয়েছে এই এ মেয়ে কি করে ওই তুই ওরে দেখ চমকাই উঠছিস কেলা ওর নাম লাইলি আর আজকে সব ওই রান্না করছে কি হ্যাঁ আম্মা জান আমার পোলা কথা কইছিলাম না ইস এরকম জঘন্য রান্না আমি জিন্দেগি দেখাই নাই আম্মাজান থাক, আমি তো পারতাছি।
সমস্যা না, আপনার বাসার সামনে না, আমি আগা দিতেছি, চলেন।
তুমি কেঠা মা? আমি তো চিন্তা পারতেছি না কোনখানে বাসা।
আমার সামনের মহল্লা বাসা। আমার নাম লাইলি।
ও লাইলি, তুমি কি আমার চিনো?
জি না খালাম্মা, আসলে আপনি তো আমার মায়ের বয়সী, বুঝছেন না? তা আমার মা যদি এরকম বাজারের ব্যাগ টানতো আমি তো দিতাম না, আমি লয়ে নিতাম।
ও আচ্ছা।
তো খালাম্মা আপনার কোনো পোলা মায়া নাই?
আছে তো, আমার একমাত্র পোলা আছে।
তো চ্যাংরা পোলা থাকতে আপনার বাজারে যেতে হয়ে গেল।
তুমি যে কি কও, তুমি কিন্তু খুব ভালো কথা কইছো। আমি আসলে বাসায় দিকে তো মাঝে মাঝে নিজে হাট বাজার করি। তা আম্মাজান তুমি কেমনে জানলা আমার পোলা চ্যাংরা?
ও, আপনার বয়স দেখে আন্দাজ করছি আর কি, আপনার পোলা চ্যাংরাই হবো। এইটা আপনার বাচ্চা?
হ্যাঁ, এই যে আইসা পড়ছে, আমার বাসায় আইসা পড়ছে। যাও, তুমি এত কষ্ট করছো, একটু চা পানি খিলাও।
না না, আজকে না, খালাম্মা আরেকদিন আসুন।
আচ্ছা।
আপনি নিশ্চয়ই কষ্ট পাইছেন তাই না? কষ্ট পাইলে মানে আপনি কইছেন আমারে, আমি যদি না যাই তাহলে তো খারাপ দেখে। তো আজকেই যাই তাহলে।
চলো। আচ্ছা আম্মাজান।
বাহ,
কি আম্মাজান?
আপনার বাসা খালাম্মা খুব সুন্দর, আপনার বাসা।
ও, আমি তো ভাবতেছিলাম তুমি আমার ছেলের কথা কইতাছো। মাশাআল্লাহ, আমার ছেলে সুন্দর আছে না?
আছে আর কি, ওই আছে।
আচ্ছা আম্মাজান, তুমি কি খাইবা? তোমার কি পছন্দ?
আপনার পোলাই কি পছন্দ করে?
ও তো যা পায় তাই খায়।
যা পায় তাই খায়, তার অবশ্য দেখে বুঝে যায়।
কিছু কইতাছো?
না খালাম্মা, কিছু কইতেছি না, মানে কইতে চাইছি যে সবার তো একটা প্রিয় খাদ্য থাকে, তারটা কি?
হ্যাঁ আছে তো, গরুর গোশত। গরুর গোশত পাইলে তো মাথায় ঠিক থাকে না, খুবই পছন্দের।
আচ্ছা কইতেছেন, আমারও গরুর গোশত খুব পছন্দ।
ঠিক আছে আম্মাজান, তুমি বসো, গরুর গোশতে রান্না করবো, দুপুরে সাপ্তে মিলে একসাথে খামু।
আরে আমি এখানে একা একা বসে কি করবো খালাম্মা, আমি যাই আপনারে সাহায্য করি একটু।
মাশাআল্লাহ, কি লক্ষ্মী মাইয়া। আসো আসো।
মা, মাংসটা যা হয়েছে না,
মজা হয়েছে?
অসাধারণ হয়েছে। এই এ মেয়ে কি করে?
ওই তুই ওরে দেখ চমকাই উঠছিস কেলা? ওর নাম লাইলি, আর আজকে সব ওই রান্না করছে।
কি?
হ্যাঁ আম্মাজান, আমার পোলা কথা কইছিলাম না?
ইস, এরকম জঘন্য রান্না আমি জিন্দেগি দেখাই নাই।
কি কইতাছস? একটু কি কইলি অসাধারণ, এখন কইতাছস ফালতু। মাথা গেছে নাকি?
খালাম্মা, আমার মনে হয় গরমে মাথা গিলু গইলা গেছে গা।
তাই মেয়ে, তোমার সাহস তো কম না, তুমি এনে কেন আসছো?
খালাম্মা আপনার সামনে আমরা ধমকাইতেছে।
ওই তুই ওরে ধমকাস কেলা? হ্যাঁ, ও আইছে তো কি হইছে? তোর কোনো সমস্যা আছে? ও জানোস না আজকে আমার এই রান্না বান্না কত সাহায্য করছে?
জানতে চাই না, ওরা এখনই বাড়ি থেকে বাইরে যেতে বলো।
কি কইতাছস? এত কিছু কষ্ট করে রান্না করে মাইটা না খাইয়ে চলে যাবো?
ও যদি এখান থেকে না যায় আমি বাইরে যাবো এখন।
খালাম্মা তোর মাথা নষ্ট হয়ে গেছে গা, আমি বরং আজকে যাই, আপনি থাকেন খান, আমি আরেকদিন এসে খামুনি।
আম্মাজান, তুই এটা কি করলি? মা এটা খালি মুখে বিদায় দিলি?
তুমি ওরে চিনো না আম্মা, খুব ডেঞ্জারাস।
আমার চিনার দরকার নেই, তুই বেশি করে খা।
তোর খামুই না।
Stephanie Can on behalf of Mr. Goffro, who is approaching, Your Honor. Mr. Goffro, when you are present, could you please state your name for the court?
What are we doing? Why do you always have a conversation once you never hang out?
Your Honor, in this particular case, I did file paperwork for an adjournment. We're asking for a 2-week adjournment of this matter, Your Honor.
March 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you.
Thanks. Court calls case People versus Gregory Davis.
Good morning, Your Honor. Raymond Cook with the people.
Assistant Public Defender Jake Bellinger on behalf of Mr. Davis, who approaches. Mr. Davis, can you please state your name for the record? And Your Honor, we are,
You state your name, please.
Gregory Davis.
That gold doesn't look so bright today after the Maryland throw.
oh, come on, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. Go ahead.
At this time, we believe all discovery to be complete, to the extent that we'd be asking the court to set this for a preliminary examination.
People have their witnesses available the 18th.
Yes, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination in person will be set March 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. That's before Judge Moore. Bond will continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Young.
Thank you, sir.
Text
Mays.
Sounds good. Right. I have a good number.
That's true. That's Mays. Because we have gold.
I didn't want to.
And gold is much brighter, especially today than Mays. Is that right, Mr. Allen? Thank you, sir.
Assistant Public Defender Chelsea Verdeals with and on behalf of Brandon Gevers, please state your name for the record.
Brandon Gevers.
Thank you, sir. You're requesting an adjournment. Now.
We are, Your Honor, for discovery purposes, and I would also ask to briefly address bond.
Probable cause conference in this matter will be adjourned to March 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. Yes, that's the bond.
Your Honor, we are requesting release on tether, a personal bond with a tether. My client, we have information that the complaining witness has left the state. He would like to go back to his home. He is very concerned about losing his home and his car, essentially most of his life in custody for longer. He is involved with this church. He's sober and he understands he has to come to court in the future. So we're asking you to consider release on a tether.
Response.
Your Honor, I would object to any modification of bond. In this case, the victim had been trying to leave the defendant because he had been mentally and verbally abusive. He became upset at the victim, pushed her on the bed, grabbed her neck with both hands and strangled her. He was holding her down on the bed and the victim described it as he was staring through her as he was strangling her. Afterwards, she thought she was going to die and she wanted to call police, but she was afraid he would hear her. So that she then drove to the police department to report the strangulation. She had red marks and scratches on her neck, and she said during the strangulation she began to lose consciousness and couldn't breathe, and remembered the defendant saying he would kill her. So I have very extreme concerns for her safety, even though she might not be in the state because of this event, Your Honor.
Anything else?
We're aware of the allegations in this case. I do think that a tether to his residence would protect both the complaining witness and the community in this case.
Motion for bond reduction is denied. Bond will continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Jake Kilwell, Judge, first of all, my apologies for being late today. I'm on one of the cases. PD has two. My case is 25 F5 5038. No, go ahead.
Assistant Public Defender Chelsea Verdeals with and on behalf of Matthew Gibbons on the older.
All right.
Judge, on my case, Matt, you want to sign this? We're going to waive up the circuit court on. Judge, on my case, Matthew had decided that we would waive up the circuit court.
On 5038.
Yes, Your Honor. And he, for the record, he signed the waiver.
All right. What are we doing on the other two?
He would like to set a preliminary exam on his other two cases.
All right. So let's get the waiver out of the way. This is the case involving the possession of a controlled substance.
Correct.
So you're on that case, you're waiving your right to a preliminary examination?
Yes.
And you understand that a preliminary examination is a proceeding where the people would have to show by probable cause that the offense alleged was committed and that you committed it.
Yes.
And you understand you'll not have that hearing on this case and you'll proceed to circuit court for further resolution.
Yes.
People also waive their right on that case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination having been